Glad you're joining me here this morning, kicking off a new week with a new focus. I'm really enjoying this weekly focus. It gives me the ability to study things out and then present it to you so that you can grow. That's really what Root Bible is all about. It's spiritual growth between Sundays. We want to root you in the Word, ignite you by the Spirit, and not just you, but all the generations. And that's why we do everything we do. So I'm so glad you're joining us today. My name is Pastor Josh Richter, and let's get into this. I want you to discover God's best plan. How many of you are ready to discover God's best plan? Not just a good plan, not just an adequate plan, not just a plan that we hope He kind of likes, but discover God's best plan. If that's you, put it in the comments. Say, I want to know the best. Do it. Put it right now. I want to know the best. For those of you watching on social media, that is awesome. But I got to tell you, Rumble's the best place. You got to get over there. The other social media outlets, I don't have a lot of faith in their continued ability. Let me say it this way. I don't have a great faith that people of faith will have a platform there for very much longer. So Rumble seems legit, seems to back us. And we have like triple the numbers on Rumble versus all of the others put together. So go to Rumble. All right, now, discover God's best plan. That was all just to give you some time to type in the comment, I want the best. And that's God's best plan. But for too many of us, we don't know it. And when you don't know it, you can live through life going just along, guessing that God might like this or that, or putting together a pretty good plan and then asking God to bless our plans. And how many have done that? Let me see the hands. Hit the thumbs up if you've done that. Yeah, there's a lot of us. That's not God's best way. No, He wants to reveal His best plans so that we can walk in the fullness of them every single day. Just pause for a sec. Imagine the fulfillment, the contentment, the rest and the peace that would come on you, knowing that you're walking in God's best plan. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest plan. It's not going to be the one that maybe everyone's going to applaud, but I'm going to tell you, it is so good. It is the best. And so what do we have to do? First thing, we have to discover and get to the end of ourselves. And the best stretch of verses on this, I got to tell you, we're going to dive into Proverbs 26. This chapter just makes me laugh. It is awesome. It is so, well, let's just get into it. I want to see how many verses we can get through. So Proverbs chapter 26, verse 1 starts off with this. Like snow in summer and like rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Let's go to verse 3. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Right now, it is not sounding like I want to have anything to do with being classified in the Bible or by the Bible as a fool, but it just keeps getting worse. This just cracks me up. Check this out. Verse 4. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you will be like him. Verse 5. Answer a fool as his folly deserves, that he will not be wise in his own eyes. Pause for a second. One verse says, don't answer a fool according to his folly, and the next one says, answer a fool according to the folly. So which one is it? Neither. What was the Bible saying? Get away from the fool. If you're anywhere around him, you're going downhill. Doesn't matter if you choose to answer him, not answer him. Either way, it's a downhill slope from there. This is not sounding very good. I got to skip ahead. The whole verses 1 through 11 are all about fools. Here's another one. Like verse 10, like an archer who wounds everyone, so is he who hires a fool or hires those who pass by. I'm done. I never want to be classified a fool or anything like that. But here's where it really hurts. You ready for this? Verse 12. Hang on here. Nope, that's verse 10. There we go. Verse 12. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. After 11 verses illustrating how hopeless, how worthless, how utterly undesirable a fool is according to the word and in God's eyes, then we get this. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There's hope, more hope for a fool than for him. What is this saying? That if we go by our own best plans, doing what seems right in our own minds, we're worse off than a fool according to the Bible. Check out this. I mentioned this one last week. There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. That is no good. Here's another one. Isaiah 5:21. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. This is serious, friends. This is serious. It makes me think of, never mind, we're not going there. We can't just go by what seems right in our own eyes. We can't just do what feels right, what seems right, even in our own best guesses of what God might like. It is never going to work. It's never going to be enough. How many have ever done that? You're trying to plan or focus on, I think God likes this, I think God likes that. You do some things and it feels like it's an epic failure, or it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you're like, I'm worse off than when I started. I'm trying to do all these things for God, and yet nothing seems to be working. I'm worse off now than I ever was before. I don't think this is working anymore. This whole Christianity thing is just pushing me backwards. Anybody ever heard somebody talk like that? I have. People say, you know what? That's what Christianity is all about. Moving backwards, horrible life, losing out on everything, but you get to go to heaven. No, that is not God's best plan. That is not his desire for you at all. No, the word says he wants us to go from glory, to live a life that he would describe as abundant. There are so many verses talking about that he wants everything we put our hand to be blessed, to succeed. That does not sound like, well, everything just goes from worse to worse, but that's what it's like to be a Christian. It's just, at least you get to go to heaven. That's bull honky. No, we need to find out his best plans and quit guessing. All the ways of a man are clean in his own sight, but the Lord weighs the motives. That's Proverbs 16:2. It's time that we let God weigh our motives and live his way. Find out what his best plans are and then begin to pursue them. Because why? For my thoughts, this is God speaking, are not your thoughts, nor are my ways, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. It is time to dive into who God is, to what he says, and begin to take that, apply it, and live it out in God's fullness. And that's God's plan for you. But it can't be by your own best imaginations. This is probably good. We got to get rid of that. And we have to dive into, God, who did you make me to be? What is your best plan for me? How can I accomplish your best will for my life? And when we begin to ask him, he begins to lead us. When we're trying to create a best plan and let God bless it, when we're saying, okay, I think God likes this, I think this is good, I think God would love this if I did this, if I joined this group or begin to do this volunteer or added this into my life, and we decide and then ask God to bless it. Who's leading that? Who is? It's you. It's not a spirit-led life. It's not a God-centered life. It's a self-centered life where you're picking what you feel is best for you and then asking God to bless it. No wonder it's failing. You're taking it on yourself, and then the blessing, the ability, the provision for that comes from who? You, because you're the originator of the plan. But when we dive into God's best plan, all of a sudden we begin to step into his wisdom, his provision, his ability, his everything coming through us to make it happen. Not for our own glory, but for his. Not that we can be like, oh yeah, I did that. No, we're done with that. He's going to do it, and it's going to be so supernatural that those around you are going to take note. They've been with Jesus. That can only be accomplished by a supernatural life. There has to be a supernatural power looking out for them. I got to find out more about this. That's what this is about. You live in God's best plan so that he can draw all men unto him through the kindness and the goodness that he's pouring out on you. So today, ask him, seek him. God, what is your best plan? And he will show you. Now, how is he going to show you? We're going to talk about that in the next few days. So make sure you stay tuned. Join every single one. They are all going to be way worth your time, way more than you paid to watch these. It's good. It's time for the body of Christ to step into this. And I can't wait to lead you down this path so that every one of you can discover God's best plan for themselves. All right, y'all. Have an amazing morning.